Good evening and welcome to News Channel 8. I'm Jerome Ajian, and here's some of the top stories we have for you tonight. More on Governor John DeYoung's trip to Guam. We pay a visit to a state prophet where residents endure the wrath of Hovensa and Diageo. Plus, Channel 8 news cameras to the rescue. These stories and more are up next on News Channel 8. In our top story tonight, Governor John DeYoung's recent trip to Guam reveals that we share some of the same issues and problems. Let's take a look.
While the U.S. Virgin Islands and Guam are oceans away from each other, the two territories have a lot in common. U.S. Virgin Islands Governor John DeYoung is visiting Guam this week so that he and Guam Governor Eddie Calvo can discuss the common ground between the islands. With Guam and the Virgin Islands both considered unincorporated territories of the United States, Governor DeYoung says he hopes the islands can partner together to petition for programs that the federal government currently only offers to states.
And being able to have discussions with Governor Calvo to put up a united front towards that, our two delegates being able to work together gives us the strength that we need in numbers to be able to make the convincing argument both at the congressional level but also to the executive branch. And the Obama administration has been extremely open in terms of listening to our needs and responding. And a lot of that response has come, for example, through the Assistant Secretary Bavada and how he has been able to advocate for all these positions.
A common thread between Guam and the Virgin Islands is the lingering question of political status. As Guam works to determine its political status, residents in the U.S. Virgin Islands are faced with many of the same questions.
Last time we actually dealt with the issue of status was in late 1989, around that period of time. We have to date been focusing more on the Constitution. Whether we deal with status versus the Constitution is always a debatable issue depending on what people are looking for. And we've looked more at the Constitution. We had a 5th Constitutional Convention that came up with a document about a year and a half ago. It was signed off on by the Constitutional Convention. It was given to me. I sent it up to the president. I had some concerns with the document, but ultimately it didn't pass.
The governor emphasizes the importance of education as Guam's people determine their own political status.
I really think that's the most important, that it can't be a minority of individuals pushing for one objective. It really has to be an educational process. Whether you go with status first or the Constitution, I leave that up to the folks in Guam to decide which, but whichever one is chosen, I think it's just important that it be grassroots and that there be a very strong educational component.
Governor John DeYoung will talk in depth on the challenges and successes shared by the territories during the University of Guam Presidential Lecture Series tomorrow. The program begins at 5:30 p.m. in the UOG Class Lecture Hall, and it's free and open to the public. Betsy Brown, PNC News.
And we want to thank the people at PNC Television for bringing us that footage all the way from Guam. And in other news, year after year of toxic activity is starting to take its toll on St. Croix, especially our neighbors in the State Prophet area. News Channel 8's Wes Small tells us why.
Thanks a lot, Jerome. A lot of you right now are probably wondering why Channel 8 hasn't been all over this Hovensa Diageo situation. But I have to tell you, it's really perplexing. It smells horrible here. I'm here with Miguel Angel Sanis, who is retired from WAPA. He's going to tell his story. But I have to tell you, we really feel for the people in Matsutown, the State Prophet, and Harvey. Now, by now, you all know that the Department of Planning and Natural Resources have finally figured out what we've long time expected, that it is Diageo and it is Hovensa that have been toxically poisoning our air. DPNR found that between May 10th and May 20th, that emergency action had to come out to protect our environment. But when you fight corporate giants like Hovensa and Diageo, it's not easy. We're not alone. There's people in the States like town of Mecca, California. You're watching some pictures here. Rotten egg smell. Sound familiar? Dizziness, headaches, asthma, and nauseousness. Sound familiar? They're going through the same thing that we're going through here. But they're trying to fight back. Miguel, your story is not unique. You suffer from a chronic illness. Like myself, you've got bad kidneys.
Yeah, bad kidney. I 4 years I in hospital, and all the sickness got me messed up, you know. And I got to go dialysis every 3 days to the hospital.
Every 3 days, Miguel goes to dialysis. Now, you have been diagnosed with bad kidneys for how many years now?
4 years.
4 years.
Yeah.
And as you see here, those are the infamous IV marks from the kidney machine that you go through. What do you think about the smell up here in Masuchow and Prophet? Do you think it's added to your dilemma of kidney disorder?
Yeah, that is affected because I hand the thing, the brain infected thing, and they caused that.
And what about your cistern? What about your bathing conditions? And you also said the stench is particularly bad at around 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, 3 o'clock afternoon, the show and things. I'd be in a bad pack and I'd smell all things, pollution and so. And it smell like animal stink.
What are the spirits of your family members and other neighbors? Are they feeling pretty much just like you?
No, they feeling more bad than me. That's my mother got to go from the house. That's we feel bad in this, so they know.
Your mother's had to leave the house.
Yeah, every time we got to go one day. Every afternoon and the morning, we got to go in there.
We've been spending time with Miguel Angel Sanas, and he feels that he's been dealt a rough blow, like a lot of people here in Prophet and Harvey, Masuchow area. But again, your situation is not unique. I just mentioned a town, tiny desert town near Palm Springs, California, called Mecca. Because of a toxic waste situation on an Indian reservation, they're going through the same thing. One resident blogged in and said, it feels like everyone has passed gas at the same time. Rotten egg smell, dizziness, nauseous. We all feel like that with burny eyes, itchy eyes, some people bleeding from the nose. Up in the State Prophet, as I look over the skyline here, it almost looks like my home state of New Jersey. Even they call my state the Garden State. It's anything that. If you've ever been on Route 22, Route 1 and 9, or the Garden State Parkway or the Turnpike, you know that smell. And believe it or not, here in Paradise, it's starting to smell the same as New Jersey. What are we going to do? We're in the State Prophet. I'm Wes Small for News Channel 8.
Thanks, Wes. And a group of college students were stranded yesterday on the Melvin Evans Highway. Who went to the rescue? That's right, Channel 8 News crews. Here's Wes with all the details.
Thanks a lot, Jerome. You never know who you're going to run into when you're up and down the Melvin Evans Highway. Actually, the crew and I were traveling. We said, these ladies look like they might be in distress. Lo and behold, they're waiting for the rent-a-car agency to come and change their flat tire. And, like, when one door opens, two doors open. They're from Winona State University in Minnesota, and I'm here with
Joan Francione.
There you go, Miss Francione, and this is just a portion of her students that are here on the conferences and seminars, and this group here was dealing with the Women's Coalition and the Head Start program and so forth, and well, tell us all about it.
We're here on a 2-week travel study to learn about the Caribbean culture and to expose our students to great sun, although the first week was a little rainy. Yeah. But in addition to learning about the culture, our students are also participating in service projects on the island. And this group here is working with the Queen Louise Home with the Early Head Start program. One of our other groups is working with the Women's Coalition. And our third group is working with the Nature Conservancy.
All right, and this is most of y'all your first trip down here?
Not mine, but their first trip.
Okay.
So
they're really getting educated.
You would have to ask them. Let's see what they say.
All right, teach. Listen. Hi, what's your name?
I'm Lindsay.
Lindsay, y'all all excited about being on YouTube, so you can say hi to your neighbors up there in Minnesota, actually. So have you enjoyed your trip here?
Yeah, it's been such an amazing experience just being on the island and being able to work with the children. I think I can speak for all of us saying that this is a life-changing experience.
Yeah. When you went to Queen Louise, I know it really moved you, didn't it?
Yeah, it really did. We all work with different age groups. 2 of us work with the 3-year-olds, 2 with the 2-year-olds, and the other 2 with the 1-year-olds and the little ones. So we've been there for 2 weeks, and I think we're all attached and upset that we have to leave.
I hope you come back.
We will.
Well, not bad while they wait for their new rent-a-car or to get a jack out here and help them out. You know, it's amazing that one thing I've learned coming from Jersey, being an outsider, if you will, is hospitality. Cruising hospitality can't be beat, and it's always great when you see strangers or so forth. All it takes is a couple of minutes to find they're strangers no more. I have friends for life now, and that's how it is, isn't it, in the Virgin Islands? That's why we're the Virgin Islands. So wave to yourselves and all the people out there. And thanks for helping out us and our children and the Women's Coalition and the whole 9 yards. And hopefully you'll be on your way, okay?
Thank you.
On the Melvin Evans Highway, Channel 8 crew and neighbors alike honking and helping out our friends from across the way. I'm Wes Small for News Channel 8.
Thanks for that daring rescue, Wes. And now an important announcement from us here at Channel 8 News. Recently and some time ago, you guys have probably seen us playing the Tender Moments fashion show commercial that's been playing recently here on Channel 8. We have one quick announcement just to make on that, and that is that in the advertisement it does say that the Virgin Islands Police Department will be providing security. We now understand from Acting Commissioner Heidman that that is not an accurate statement. There will be security provided at the event. It will be professional security, but it will not be the Virgin Islands Police Department handling the security. And that is for your comfort and safety, to let you know that there will be security officers there and the area will be covered. And when we come back from this break, we'll take a look at BOGO's entertainment report, plus more. Stay with us.